Welcome back to Not Man Enough Podcast. We are going to actually discuss something really difficult today because I thought I had it figured out and now I'm just confused. So welcome. This is going to be interesting. Anyway, yeah, we got the whole crew here today. We got Trent behind the board.
What up?
We've got Matt, Sam sitting over in the what do we call those chairs?
The
Blue
exclusive VIP chairs.
Blue chairs. They're sitting in the blue chairs. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, we got the whole crew.
Can you call us the boys in blue?
If that's what you want.
I was thinking of the corner kids, but you know.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
I've got the most blue in my shot. So
That's true.
But
yeah.
you're not in it, if you know what I mean. We're in it.
We're so blue. We're in it.
Not only is Matt wearing blue,
I'm wearing blue.
he's also in a blue chair.
Yeah.
let me check my underwear. Hold on. Anyway, let's.
Make sure to get that on camera.
Yeah. Nope. Anyway, what's going on this week? Anybody got anything?
I almost hit a hole in one.
so natural, Sam. You brought that up.
Almost.
Hey, it was. Did he tell you about that, or was it me? That told you?
I think you told me, and then when I talked to him, I asked him about it.
Yeah. So it was impressive to me.
For
I
the
was
second
really happy
time
for
within
you.
1 month.
That is
Yeah.
impressive.
Neither time it went in.
Is that
Same club,
disappointing?
same distance, pretty much, different places.
Yeah.
Do you feel like since that happened, like twice, and like it's never going to happen again, you lost on your opportunity?
No, I feel like if anything, it's going to happen many times, many times again, and I'm
Yeah.
never actually going to get one.
How dare I? How dare I make a birdie instead of a hole?
Yeah, I mean, it was sweet, but it's like whenever it's that close, you're like, come on. And then there was one chip I had that was literally on the edge.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
didn't go, it went on the line and everything.
Like we were like blowing on it because it was like
Yeah, I
it was
know.
hanging on by
We're like,
grass.
maybe we just
Yeah.
stomping on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was frustrating. But
And, yeah.
speaking of frustrating, today, so there was construction. I was driving with a coworker. There was construction on the road. And you know how the guys hold the signs that say stop and slow, and they like turn them
Yeah.
around to let you know. Well, there was two of them sitting there, and we're like, okay, one guy holding the sign, and then there's one guy standing right behind him, just standing there, and
With the same sign?
nope, just standing there,
Okay.
nothing in his hand. So
Okay.
we were making jokes of like, oh, okay, tax dollars hard at work. We're just making a bunch of like dumb dad jokes and stuff. And then we're like, is this like these two guys just taking turns holding this sign? Like, it's like, oh, it's your turn now. It's your turn. And they're like, so we drive through, and then we're coming back just
my
a couple-
wrist is sore.
Yeah, literally. And then we're coming back through this construction like 2 minutes after this, and we're still making the jokes about these guys.
Yeah.
And we even told another person about it. We're like, why is there two people over here? And as we're driving back through, we see them exchange.
One of them's holding it for stop, and one of them's holding it for slow.
He literally handed it to him, and he just like, and then they just swap places. And I'm like, but they're both standing out in the heat. Just one happens to be have one
Dude,
hand on the side.
I don't get it.
It makes no sense.
Maybe one of those guys was like in training. It's his first day, and they're like, "Stand with this guy. We don't know what to do with you," or something.
that's
You
what
know?
I
have to
thought
train
too.
someone to hold a sign.
Yes.
See, this side says stop, and he's like, I don't know how to read. And they're like, all right, well you'll learn eventually.
Yeah, I don't know how those guys do that job in the first place. It's like, oh, well, you want an easy job to just go work for the the highway department, whatever that does that, and it's like, but that sounds miserable sitting out there.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'd rather be
easy
working.
jobs aren't usually fun.
And it lasts forever. The day goes by super
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, it definitely does not look, especially standing on hot asphalt,
Yeah.
like in the middle, like it's 100 degrees outside. Like,
Yeah, I'm
no,
not
I'll
down
pass.
with it, man. I'm not down.
Yeah, I
with
feel
it.
like if you're never challenged, you're just bored
Yeah,
all
it's
the
just
time.
it's just
it
boredom.
sounds horrible. And in the heat, you're hot and bored.
Yeah,
I feel like today was the first day that I actually got woozy from like the heat.
Yeah,
Today
it was 100 something.
Yeah, it was brutal. I got in my truck at work, and it said 111 on the dash. I mean, that was after I had it running,
Yeah.
and it was still like reading like 111. It did get down to like 109, but
So I did
It did get down.
partially from the heat, partially just because I'm a wuss. I almost passed out on I think it was last Wednesday.
Nice.
At a dentist. This lady,
Somebody,
Yeah.
somebody
Were
just
you
mentioned
Being
dentist.
operated on?
pretty
I
much.
think that's anesthesia.
No, it wasn't. This dentist's office, she must keep it 85 degrees in this office. It is so hot. I mean, I'm like profusely sweating, and it's
Ugh.
hot outside. And then I made the very bad mistake to ask a dental question because I had a dentist appointment actually today. So this was last week, and she answered it in great detail, very gross, great detail, where I'm profusely sweating already. And it got to the point where I literally just had to hand her the invoice. I was like,
Wait, why was
I gotta
it
get out of here.
gross?
It was more. I think it was just stress induced.
I think
Like,
it was stressing me out because
He's
I
like, I'm
asked
about
her.
to get surgery on my mouth.
Yeah, I asked her a question that had to do with me. Like,
What
it
was it?
like,
What do you have wrong with you?
well, it turns out nothing, thankfully, but I was just overthinking it because I'm like a hypochondriac. And
No, you're not.
well,
Well, guys, you know what
Yeah.
also is
so it was
stress?
slightly embarrassing, but I was
know-
like, I got to get out of here, and I just went to the truck, like very close to passing out.
You know what also can make you pass out and very stressed out is unforgiveness.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's made me pass out a few times.
Yeah,
Do you forgive me? No.
Yeah,
It's kept me from passing out sometimes.
yeah, true. Sometimes it just keeps you going. Can't go to sleep or nothing. No. Yeah. Anyway, I figure we talk about this. I think y'all did an episode on this, and I wasn't there, and so I don't know. Like I don't remember. I think
Were
it
you
was-
not there for that?
No,
I don't
it was
think so.
it was Pastor Jeff and Delano actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
And we've brought it up multiple times in different ways, but I don't think we've ever dedicated an episode besides that one. But that was mostly Pastor Jeff talking, so we thought
Yeah.
we would. We feel like we have better things to say.
Well, I wasn't there, and obviously I have a lot to say. No, actually, I'm more confused than ever. Honestly, I'm pretty.
Well, that's good. Hope this is encouraging. Guys.
Well, maybe y'all can help me. I don't know.
Yeah, he's confused on whether or not you should forgive at all.
Yeah, actually,
so you know.
no, actually, I've held a pretty firm position for a long time, but after looking at all this scripture, I understand where people get. I guess the deferring view that I don't ascribe to, I guess.
Yeah.
The one that I would say I've always thought, well, that's wrong, and it's like, well, I see in scripture how they get there, and so I'm like, okay, so how do we work through this? Because it seems like scripture is affirming two different things, but they're not contradicting one another, and so it's like, okay, and we'll get into it. I'll explain what I mean, hopefully, and it's just not too confusing. But anyway, talking about biblical forgiveness. Let's just talk about that. Just even defining what is biblical forgiveness. Like, is it? I mean, obviously, there's so many aspects we can go into, but when I say biblical forgiveness, when you talk about forgiveness, what comes to mind as far as defining it?
Well, I think it helps to contrast it to what I guess the world might think of forgiveness, which I suppose a lot of the time it's just pushing it under the rug, pushing the issue under the rug. It's like just trying to forget about it.
Yeah.
And you hear that a lot too. Forgive and forget, or just forget it ever happened, or just try to internalize it. Move on. Which, I mean, there's some things which even as Christians we're supposed to overlook. Love covers a multitude of sins. But what forgiveness isn't is just forgetting or shoving it under the rug. It's acknowledging that what was done against you or what you did against someone was wrong and that it was a sin, but choosing not to hold that over a person and not to allow that to dictate how you like you wouldn't treat them in bitterness or unkindness because of the sin that they committed against you, but instead you treat them with love. And that also doesn't mean that you throw like trust out the window, like distrust out the window. Like you just all of a
Right.
sudden trust them again, especially depending on what it is. It can be very severe. So like, let's say someone, murders someone close to you. You forgive them. That doesn't mean that you're gonna allow them into your home or something again, or allow them into a place where, when they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not holding that sin over them and saying, go to hell. You're wishing the best for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wouldn't separate like necessarily consequences of sin.
First Opinions 2:3. I didn't quote anything there, but
So I mean, kind of like you would say that although there might still be repercussions to that sin that someone's even committed against you, whether it's relational, whatever, it doesn't mean that you're holding it over their head per se. In other words, like if you have a spouse that has committed adultery on you and it's like they ask for forgiveness, it's not like when you're trying to work through that you're not allowed to bring that up because you're trying to work through it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't mention the fact that you had an affair on me. I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's like what it means. I just think that you're not holding it over their head as in like I'm holding you like this is, in other words, you're trying to work through it. Your heart is not saying, hey, I'm holding this against you and we have to relive this every day of our life from here on out. It's just the fact of like we need to work this out.
Yeah, when I think of a example of someone who, although I think probably from some people, and I think even very possibly from the Lord himself, experienced forgiveness, but still experienced the consequences of his actions, was actually Jeffrey Dahmer. You had a man who was a serial killer who did horrific things, and later on in prison professed Christ with a testimony of gospel that was solid from what I've read. He still faced the consequences. He still acknowledged that. He actually said, I believe, that he should have been put to death. And I mean, he was, not by the state, but by prison inmates. But that example always pops into my head. If you've got a man who, I'm sure there were people who probably, believers who did forgive him. Assuming he did put his faith in the gospel, the Lord forgave him. He still experienced earthly consequences, though.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
I think of in all those circumstances like that, it's like the separation between justice and forgiveness, and then like you even bringing up is like, okay, it's not a, say someone commits adultery on their partner, and then they go, well, do you forgive me? It's like, well, you could say yes in that moment, but that doesn't mean, like you said, like it's not going to come up. Okay, well, we got to work through this.
Yeah.
So it's not just I forgive and well tomorrow it's back
Like
to
it never happened.
Like it
Like
never
we're not
happened.
addressing anything, how we got there,
Yeah.
how you got there. Like there's things that have to be done
Yeah,
for healing. Yeah.
and that wouldn't make any sense. That would just make you kind of an ignorant person who is just walked all over by everyone all the time.
Easily
Yeah.
manipulated. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one because it's like, I think that what we do is when we look at forgiveness, we look at the ultimate source of forgiveness, and that's God, and that's Christ, and we look at God's character, and that's right. We should do that. We should look at like, well, the Lord forgave us, and so I do want to make a distinction in this, though. I do think that we have to separate a perfect God that forgives versus fallen, sinful creatures.
Yeah.
Because God, when he holds us accountable and doesn't offer forgiveness to someone, it's not hypocritical for him because he's perfect.
Yeah.
On us, though, we can be hypocrites. And the reason is because we have sinned against the Lord so much. And so it's like we've done far worse to the Lord than what anybody's ever done to us. And so it's I guess I don't know if y'all want to speak to that, but I think that's a distinction that does need to be made, and I think that because here's what is something, and this is something that I would fight against, is the idea that the reason why you always that you don't have to forgive someone if they don't ask at all. And I'm not making an argument either way yet. I'm just saying this aspect of it is because the Lord doesn't forgive someone unless they ask. And it's like, well, the Lord has no sin. He's the perfect judge. You do have sin. So, I mean, let's talk from that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not the same thing.
Yeah. One point, just back to what we were saying a while ago, too, I was thinking of, there's no separation for God, if that makes sense. There's no separation of justice, forgiveness, all that stuff. It's not like how we would view it with what we were just saying, of where a man can be forgiven in the eyes of God or even in his neighbors, but there still is justice. Well, that's all kind of combined with God, if that makes sense. There's still justice, justice is still fulfilled, and you're saying he's perfect. Right. So it's not separated. For us, it makes it more complicated because there is a separation, between some of those things.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because I think that sometimes we try to make the argument from the standpoint of God's character, and it's because he doesn't forgive unless people ask, then obviously you don't have to either. And it's well, I don't know that that's a good argument because God is perfect and he's not a hypocrite to judge like that and to withhold forgiveness because he's the one that's been sinned against ultimately. Mm-hmm. And but yet we have sinned against many people who have forgiven us without us asking for it. How many times have we sinned against people not even understanding and knowing, and they overlooked it and forgave us without even mentioning it?
Yeah.
How many times does that happen within the church? And I think it's I'm not saying it's always healthy. It can go too far. But what I'm saying is to nitpick every little thing is well, that guy was rude and he should be
yeah, and you wait until he comes and asks you for forgiveness before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A church would not function if it was like that, I don't think.
I mean, how many careless words?
I don't know. Maybe it functioned better. I don't know.
Right. How many careless words have been spoken that in your mind were totally fine, that genuinely hurt somebody? You have no clue.
Yeah.
And they forgive you, and they never even bring it up.
Yeah.
Just like what you're saying. I'm sure it happens probably more than what we even think. And the reason I think that is because I think we probably overlook and forgive people for that probably at least somewhat often.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Well, we should. Maybe I should say that. Maybe we should do that.
So let's, before we get into this, because it's okay, so we're talking about some things that are kind of hard to navigate. In my opinion, they're hard to navigate. Well, there goes my pen. I can't talk now. Not what I want to pen. I want to talk
let
about.
Let me get that for you, brother.
Anyway, I think that what we need to talk about is what we do know.
Yeah.
What we do know from Scripture. And here's what I can definitely say from Scripture is we do have to forgive those who ask. I mean, that's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all want to speak to that more, but I mean, I can go grab probably 15 verses right now that say that, parables and everything else, that if your brother asks for forgiveness, you have to forgive him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing off limits in terms of what we are called to forgive someone of if they come and ask us of it. And even, I would say even in terms of what they haven't asked, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's the real question. That's the question we're trying to answer, honestly, is that, and we'll get to it. Let's talk about, I think that this is going to be a good distinction. I don't know. Let's talk about this. Personal forgiveness between two people. Just let's say you and your wife get into an argument and that's more personal. It's between y'all two. And then let's talk about a church setting that involves church discipline. Because I think that here's the thing that was confusing me earlier when reading through all these verses is sometimes when it talks about forgiveness, it says, if your brother asks for forgiveness. And other times it seems to imply that you should forgive even if he doesn't ask. But it seems like all the times that it's like it's attached when it says, if your brother asks for forgiveness, it seems like more times than not, it's attached to the idea of church discipline. In other words, the church saying, hey, brother, you are in sin. You're not asking or repenting. You're not repenting before the Lord or before your brothers and sisters in Christ. And so we're to treat you as an unbeliever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the difference between a personal thing and like something between the church. Go.
Yeah, I mean, well, does someone being church disciplined, does that mean that even though the church is not reconciled with them and that they're not able to partake in the service and the means of grace with the rest of the saints, does the church excommunicating them, is that the same as individuals not forgiving that person at the same time in their heart?
Right.
And what does that mean as well? I mean, even though there isn't reconciliation, I think we're still called to forgive as individuals, and the individuals make up the church. But that doesn't mean that the church as an institution is going to simply bring them back in despite their unrepentant sin.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if someone who's church disciplined, they're supposed to be treated as an unbeliever. Okay. Are we called to forgive unbelievers when they sin against us?
Yes.
Yes.
Forgive your enemies.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
so. But doesn't mean you're reconciled with them. No, there's a difference there. And so I think, Sam, I agree with what you're saying. It's like
it says to love your enemies.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? What does love look like? Well, I mean, 1 Corinthians tells us what love looks like. And so it's like, if you're going to say, well, hey, love, and I understand that 1 Corinthians is written to Christians, it's within the context of the church, but he is defining what love is.
Yeah.
And when the Lord says, hey, I tell you not to just love those, I've got it pulled up somewhere. I've got so many verses pulled up. I don't know that I can find it right now. But there's one where, Christ is sitting there talking. He says, you've heard it said, love, hate your enemy, but, but I say love your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, like, even those who abuse you. It's actually in the text, like, even those who abuse you.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that the text where he talks about, like, if they ask for your tunic, give them your, like, undergarment too? If they ask you to carry for a mile, carry for 2. Like, he's kind of like doubling everything of go above and beyond.
Give them your undergarments.
I don't know if that's exactly what it says, but it's something like that.
They're like, I don't want this, dude.
no, take them, take them.
No,
I forgive you. Take them.
okay, here
It sounds like something out of a Christian movie.
it's
different type of undergarments.
in Luke 6.
It's got holes in it.
Here it is, Luke 6:27.
It's got skid marks.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Here, I got another one for you. I'm supposed to give you
Please
another.
wash this for me.
Okay, but I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. Okay, so here's what he's saying. He says, do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. To one who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from the one who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone. It was close. Give to everyone who begs from you and from who. Okay, so the point is, he says, hey, what benefit is it? Like, even sinners, like, will forgive those who they love, like family and stuff like that. But, like, what benefit is that to you? Love your enemies. And so I guess the question is when it says love your enemies and it talks this way, can you love an enemy like that with unforgiveness in your heart towards them? That's my question. Can you pray for them? Can you bless them? Can you really do these types of things? And I know that the Lord is given the ultimate of the law. Like, it's like, hey, it's like none of you are ever going to, I understand that this is law text, but it's still good. Like, it's not like it's what he's preaching is bad.
Yeah.
It's good. And so it's like, this is really how things should look. It's what Christ did. And so I'm curious, loving your enemies, can you love someone this way and withhold forgiveness?
No, I don't think it makes any sense.
Yeah, that's the difficulty, because I don't think it does either.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can go
Do you
together.
think that it's some of it is the problem of people conflate, like even in our minds, conflating reconciliation, trust, and forgiveness? Like we're putting all of them together
Yeah.
and going, okay, well, if in my heart I forgive this person, automatically we're buddies again. Or even further than that is like this guy who's constantly attacking me, an actual enemy of mine. Well, I forgive him, so we're no longer enemies. So it's just guard down. I don't got to worry about it anymore because I forgave him.
I think that and that's why I wanted to make a distinction. I actually we kind of moved on from it, and that's because I didn't even mention what I had written down here was personal forgiveness, church discipline, in a sense. What does it look like with forgiveness within the church, and then even state.
Yeah.
And we mentioned that earlier. If you kill someone, you might be forgiven by the family that you killed their loved one. You might get forgiveness from them, but you're going to still have justice and repercussions for the good of society and for the good of all. And just like when the church, when they do church discipline on someone, and they start treating them as an unbeliever, it's for the sake of all. It's not for the sake of, like, just the fact that I don't want to forgive this person. Actually, you're hoping that they'll be restored. The hope is that they'll be restored. And so even that's being done in love. And so it is a difficult one, because I just don't see how you can hold the things personally when you. I mean, so many
that makes sense because, well, like what you're saying with, especially with the church. So personal, I think it gets a little bit more complicated because it's hard. Emotions are tied into it. It makes it more complicated, general. But with the church, okay, like personally, like I could forgive the person being disciplined. But if the church itself as a organization or whatever you want to say, as the body, just did that too, of saying, like you said, conflating the two of forgiveness and reconciliation, then there is no discipline. Yeah. If that makes sense. Because then it's like, okay, well, that person doesn't have to come back and ask for forgiveness to be brought back in. They just are. I mean, that's kind of like modern Big Eva is. There is none of that. It's just all love, all forgiveness. Yeah. And I think that's probably some of the confusion that comes from this is confusing those two things,
Let me throw a verse out there, completely ripped out of context because I completely forgot to write down where it was from. So here you go.
It is said somewhere.
It is said somewhere out of context. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. Now, he doesn't say whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone and they ask for your forgiveness. I'm not saying that can't be implied. I'm not saying like it's just, what do you do with that? What do you do with, I guess,
I mean, what would you say would be the mental state of the person, like their thought process that's not doing that? So, like, let's say someone's going praying before the Lord, but they haven't forgiven their brother. I mean, what are they thinking then towards that brother? I mean,
it can't be anything good.
Yeah. I mean, I have to think, and I don't think forgiveness, like a lot of sins, or unforgiveness, like a lot of sins, I don't think it's always just a one-time thing and it never comes up again. Because there's times where people are really sinned against, and then they really have to work hard in their heart to forgive someone. So, like, let's say a brother does you wrong. There might be times whenever throughout the day you're thinking evil thoughts about that person. Yeah. That wouldn't be forgiveness. And then so you repent of that and then forgive them again, in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think in terms of that thought process that's going on is that, you aren't thinking malicious thoughts about them, and you're at a place where you're hoping the best for them. You're wishing
Yeah.
the best for them. You're not thinking evil of them. And that's really hard. It can be really hard a lot of the time.
I know it's already open. We have an invader. Anyway, yeah.
Two invaders.
Yeah, Sam. I
What was I saying?
I
Anyway, I think I think that person that is going before the Lord, praying, like the thought process he should be having is things that are good in regards to that
That's right.
person, not
For their
thinking
good.
maliciously, but thinking in a loving way of them, and in that sense, their heart has forgiven them.
I want to read this. This is Ephesians 4:30 through 32. And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, by whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. And this is what's attached to it. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God and Christ forgave you. And
That's how you forgive too, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's no other way, because even your forgiveness is, I think that's what you were actually getting at, is even our forgiveness falls short.
Yeah.
And we have to battle. A lot of times when we're really hurt, we take it personally, and we don't just see it as like a sin against God. We act like we're just as important as God here, and like, oh, you sinned against me, like the ultimate being or something. And we want to hold on to it in our pride, and it's a battle for us. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not fighting for it, and there's a difference. That's a struggle with sin, just like any other sin, but you're still willing to offer it. You're still asking the Lord to bring you to that point and to fix you. And so the blood of Christ, you have that covering you.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to live under condemnation if that's where you're at. You're working through it. Know that the Lord has forgiven you, and honestly, I think that will help you forgive others.
Oh yeah, it's so hard to hold on to unforgiveness while you're looking at the cross.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, if you truly believe,
Yeah.
if you see what Christ has done for you, and you look back to that after you've been wronged, it's like you just can't hold on to it, because it's like you from there you have to see yourself worse than anyone else, even the person that has done you wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, that should always be what we go back to, but we don't, but we should.
Yeah, and that kind of applies to believer and unbeliever. It's like
Yeah.
looking at our believer, knowing, hey, Christ paid for this person as much as he did
purchase
me.
them, yeah.
He purchased them, and then the unbeliever should be still kind of the same thought of not, he hasn't purchased them, but we should desire that for them, of going, hey, we were once in this person's place. We were once a sinner like them.
Yeah.
We want to see them redeemed, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Trent, you had a good question earlier, and I thought that it would fit good right here. Is what was that question that you had?
Yeah. So I was getting coffee with a brother this morning, and I was telling him about
He was white.
He was white. I said,
What
brother.
kind of coffee?
I said brother quite ethnically, if I do say so myself. But
What kind of coffee was it? Probably no cream. Huh?
yeah. But no. I was talking about the topic for today's episode, and he kind of brought up the question. It's just something that's interesting to think about. So when the Lord forgives you, reconciliation, forgiveness, atonement, it all happens at the same time.
Yeah.
It's all like there's not a separation between the Lord forgiving you and reconciliation with Him. There is with us, but does that mean that we're in the wrong when
We
there-
forgive, but
we
there's
forgive,
not.
but there's no reconciliation? And should we seek that? So, in other words, for the person who kills your family member,
Your whole family.
Your whole family. But a person who kills a family member or whatever, the murderer, should you have them over for dinner? Should that be what you're aspiring to do? Because essentially, that is what Christ does with us. We are invited to the table, the communion table, even though we've sinned greatly against him. And there's forgiveness and reconciliation.
Even still, there's a difference, though. Like I
There
wouldn't
is, I
have them,
agree.
I wouldn't have. I'd be scared they'd try to finish the job. On.
I'd be a little nervous
They
personally.
killed my whole family, and
Yeah.
now they're
I think-
looking at me next. I'm not having them over for dinner, but
I think that Saul quite understood when people didn't quite accept him at first. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey,
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy that first, you know, I
For
don't,
sure,
I
yeah.
don't think that he was necessarily judging them for not accepting him. He
No,
understood.
I ended up coming to the same conclusion that you did as well, and you said during our phone conversation earlier was that at some point, yeah, I know. Why did I say a phone conversation like a weirdo?
Well, it sounded like you said
phone
fun. It
conversation.
sounded like you said fun
It was
conversation.
I've got one of those new rotary dials.
I was just on the telephone with a lovely brother. With a brother.
I was just on the telly.
I was on the telly with a brother. Telephone conversation, yeah.
No,
Anyway,
telly in British is talking about the television. That doesn't make any sense. But
It was a Skype call.
anyways,
We were FaceTiming.
Good point.
Trey, go.
anyways, I
go ahead.
came to the conclusion that at that point, if someone's done that great of harm to you, and it doesn't even have to be that severe. I think there's lesser things, maybe cheating you out of money or whatever. It's like I'm going to do what's best for my family, which might mean keeping you away from them.
Yeah.
Even though we've forgiven you, and we hope the best for you, that doesn't necessarily mean that. And I think because Christ changes the hearts of those who he saves, forgives, reconciles with. I can forgive you. I cannot change your heart. I can't do
Yeah.
that, whereas the Lord
Good point.
can. So I can't,
Yeah.
in other words, I'm not sovereign in that way.
Well, I think that it's different. It's like the reason why we have reconciliation with God is because on behalf of what Christ has done for us. And we can't do that for others. So there is a difference. I can't die for someone else's sins. I can't live the righteous life that they need to stand before a holy God. And so reconciliation happens immediately. Why? Because of Christ and what he has done. I have not done those things.
Yeah.
So I can't offer forgiveness in that sense. In the same sense to where it's completely reconciliation is given instantly, miraculously. I don't have that ability. Christ does in his church. He can mend hearts. He can bring healing and all that. But me personally, I cannot. And so I think that needs to be a distinguishment is like that. Yes, the reason why you have reconciliation with someone, and Christ has reconciliation, God the Father has reconciliation with someone instantly, it's because it's on account of his Son. Well, I mean, we don't have that same. Does that make sense? Am I even making sense? Like, we don't have that ability to reconcile sinners to ourselves. I think Trent said it correctly. We don't change the heart. We're not able to send the Holy Spirit into their heart and change it and regenerate them and make them love us. Does that make sense?
He missed it.
Yeah. You switched it to the wrong camera. It was on the computer for a second. So
It was a beautiful view.
It was very pretty.
I mean, it was
yeah,
gorgeous.
What is it?
Just-
Oh, look at that. It's quite gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. Wow.
We just wanted to give our viewers a moment of peace.
That's funny.
This is us giving forgiveness out.
We're about to be doing NPR radio.
But going off what you said, I think it still just goes back to kind of the same points of like, we're not God, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we're called to forgive in the same way Christ forgives, but not ultimately, if that makes sense. If there is separation between all these different things. I think Trent said it really well of like, we can't change the heart, you know, and then we've brought it back to this multiple times, but still justice in this life of we're still called to administrate justice. So it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
say someone asks for forgiveness, the person who, this hypothetical person you're having dinner with that murdered your family, and now they're after you next.
Maybe someone's out there. That's
if they murdered your whole family, you're just eating one-on-one.
Yeah, I know. And you're just sitting in this intense dinner one-on-one, and then they're
and they're a cannibal, by the way.
and they ask for forgiveness. It's not, oh, you're off, okay, you can go free now. Like we would say that's unjust,
Well, actually, that's unloving to your neighbor and this
and your dead family
and the society.
Oh,
Because like in a social sense, it's not loving to your neighbors to let somebody off the hook for murdering someone, because there needs to be penalties so that people don't go out and do that.
Therefore,
It
we should
protects.
become vigilantes.
No,
I was just thinking about vigilante. Oh, I think it's because that poster behind you.
but
yeah.
But I think that what helps is, I think that maybe this will bring a little bit of help, and this maybe helps me a little bit. Again, I'm working through this even as we're talking. But there, when the Lord's Prayer, it's called the Lord's Prayer, but it's actually a prayer that we're supposed to be praying. Whatever. But he does teach us how to pray.
It's a prayer to the Lord.
Yeah, and he says,
the Lord prayed it.
and he says, "Give us this day our daily bread." And then he says this, "And forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors." And so many times Jesus, it is referenced in a lot of these verses that I've looked up. It says, "Forgive as the Lord has forgiven you." And sometimes it is attached to the words, "If a brother asks you for forgiveness, forgive as the Lord has forgiven you." Okay. So here's the question, and I think that maybe this will help clear it up. Are we forgiven before the Lord on account of the fact that we've asked for forgiveness and we repented? Or are we forgiven before the Lord because Christ purchased us and we're His, and that is just a fruit of the fact that we have been redeemed by Christ?
The second one.
Yes.
What would Calvin say?
Yes.
Well, doesn't that clear it up, though? Because
Yeah.
What I keep hearing, I don't want to say I keep hearing it, but the aspect is, well, we forgive as the Lord has forgiven us, and we ask for forgiveness, so He's forgiven us. But really, that's not technically the whole thing. He died for my sins before I ever asked for forgiveness.
Yeah.
He took that upon Himself, and He purchased me. He ransomed me. I'm His before that ever happened. The Father set His love upon me and gave me to His Son way before I ever asked for forgiveness. Now, do I think all Christians ask for forgiveness? Yes.
There's no way the elect don't.
There's no way that they don't, but that's a fruit of the fact that they have been purchased by Christ.
Well, an example of that is Christ on the cross.
Yes.
His whole earthly ministry, too, you see this regularly where He says, the Pharisees condemned Him because He said, "Your sins are forgiven."
Yeah.
And they said, "Who is this that can forgive sins?" Well, the cripple didn't ask for.
There's several people that didn't even ask
He
for
didn't lower him down, and then he go, "Please forgive me."
Yeah.
He just is there, and then he, at least that we know. But especially on the cross where He says, "Father, forgive them,"
for they know not what they do.
It's like they weren't asking for forgiveness; they were currently crucifying Him.
And an interesting thing is we don't have, maybe the thief on the cross did, but the thief on the cross was like, "Lord, remember me. You don't deserve anything. I deserve everything." Now that's a repentance in the sense of like, I deserve this. Before the Lord, I am receiving justice, and that is right. You haven't done anything. I believe upon you. Remember me.
But that doesn't counter your argument, because we'd still say his eyes were open to the fact that
Christ,
the man beside Him on the cross, was His Savior.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do y'all want to talk about that anymore? Because I don't know if that helps clear it up. It maybe helps to clear it up for me, but unless y'all absolutely destroy that point. But I don't know. It maybe helps me out a little bit, because the truth is we're not forgiven because we ask for forgiveness ultimately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I going too far on that?
Sounds like you're about to get into the marrow controversy a little bit. Is what it sounds like.
Maybe. I don't know. I just like
Different episode.
Yeah.
But
I hear crickets.
I don't disagree.
I don't know. I think what you said
Sorry,
was,
I'm just tired,
was
but I
great.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if anybody has a
Yay! I vote yay.
yeah. Yeah.
basically we've figured it out. There's no need to think about this anymore. If you had the question, it's been answered, and you're good. Don't go to any other source.
I just don't think how we separate, like when it says love your enemies and all these things, and we even look at like what is in 1 Corinthians is what love looks like and stuff like that. And I know that's within the church context. I understand that. But I don't understand how you can actually love your enemy and pray for your enemy when you're when you have unforgiveness, which I think unforgiveness only can breed bitterness. I can't, and that might be a fault of mine. Maybe I'm not being biblical here. I just don't understand how you get away from that. Does that make sense? Like I don't know how that works. Like, how do you not forgive someone and hope the best for them?
Yeah, I don't think there is any way. I think that is bitterness.
Yeah.
It has to be. Like I don't know. Like maybe
Let's look up the definition of bitterness.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone can reason through that in their mind, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way of like, how do you, like I said, back to what we said, or what I said earlier of believer and unbeliever, going off of Sam's point is, the unbeliever, we should be longing for their salvation.
Yes.
We should be praying for their salvation. Well, how do you do that with holding, this unforgiveness over them? And then the believer, same thing of this is my brother. This is someone who Christ has purchased. This is someone who,
I did look up the definition for bitterness.
bitterness. Yeah.
The
So did
sharpness
Jonathan.
of taste, lack of sweetness. The lime juice imparts a slight bitterness. No, I'm just playing. It says anger, disappointment at being treated unfairly, resentment.
Resentment's good.
Resentment.
Yeah, resentment would be a good
That's
one.
what I was thinking of. It was like, how can you wish the best, assume the best of what we say these are like Christian virtues of saying, I want the best for my brother. I'm going to assume the best of them, and then still have this, but I'm holding this over them. I'm holding this one little thing. That one time he made fun of the way I looked or something.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you, sir.
What
Yeah, I mean, like-
particularly about his looks were
Oh, you're wrong,
you
Cameron.
know,
It was more so just jealousy.
That makes me so
Okay,
mad.
so I'm going to end with this, and we'll move on. We'll move on to our segment. Here's something to consider, and I guess is to consider this is Paul when he is under house arrest and he goes before the governor. I think it's the governor, and he's been there forever. He's been held like unlawfully in a sense. And yet he goes and he says, I wish that, and he said, Paul, will you convince me to be a Christian? And he's mocking Paul. And Paul says, oh, I wish that you would be, all but these chains. He has like no bitterness towards that person. He has no, like any kind of unresolved resentment. Like he doesn't have any of that. He only wants the best for him. Now, I don't understand how you could say that Paul was holding things over that man's head and saying, well, you've kept me here illegally. That's not the way he talks. And then think about someone like, I'm going to go Old Testament here. Think about Daniel. Daniel was conquered by the Babylonian king, and he knew that that was from the Lord. And because of that, he served that king, and he actually said he was actually troubled when the Lord was going to judge him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, like you see what I'm saying? Isn't that more of the heart that we're supposed to look like? Isn't that more of what we're supposed to look like as Christians? I would say yes. But to say no, you have every right to just hold on to this this anger and resentment and everything else. I think that now I pulled this up on AI, so we're not going to take this too seriously because I don't know. Okay, this is just what was pulled up on the internet. I just typed in the
This is
meaning
what
of
the demons
bitterness.
have to say about it.
Yeah, true, could be. The meaning of bitterness in the Bible, but it does kind of just correlate with the the meaning of bitterness that we talked about earlier is it says this: it represents a deep-seated, unresolved anger and resentment, often stemming from perceived injustices or unmet expectations. I don't know if that really gets at it.
Can you say that again?
It represents a deep-seated, unresolved anger and resentment, often stemming from perceived injustices or unmet expectations.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, whenever you
good.
think about the person that sinned against you, what is the first emotion that's illicit? You know, like what's the first thing that comes about? Like what's the first thought that you have about them in reference to that?
right.
And I don't think just thinking about the sin that they've done against you is wrong in itself. But in terms of like, how do you feel about that? And what are you thinking alongside that?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good sort of test to see if you have forgiven someone or not. And it's not, you know, if you haven't, forgive them, confess that to the Lord, and move on and repeat if needed.
Yeah, I could go on and on. We need to wrap it up and move on. Let's try and not record a 2-hour episode for once. But anyway, something in Hebrews 12, it says this. It says, strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see. We always hear that, with no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. I don't know. I don't know if I'd use that actually, but because that's out of context. Forget I said that. Okay.
Good closing note.
Good closing note. Go with that. But hey, context is important.
Go listen to our episode on biblicism.
Hey, any scripture is good to close with.
It doesn't matter what context you're using it at all.
Judas went and hung himself.
Don't boil a goat in its mother's milk.
Let's close with that.
I was like, well, after I started reading, I was like, man, maybe that's not so good. Anyway, there's a context there. Go read it, by the way. Go study that for yourself. Don't depend on us.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, hey, guys, shocker, we're not pastors. Anyway, that's why it's important to be in a good biblical church where you can work these things out with other believers and you can have these conversations and sharpen one another. That's important. If you're not in a church, find a good church because you can't live the Christian life without the church.
True. Facts. Word.
Okay, so on our
Word to your mama.
Clarification: we are not a church, so you can't just listen to our podcast, and that does not count.
Yeah,
It's close, though.
but maybe good idea. Maybe we could try it.
We are of the church.
we're gathered together. 2 or 3 or more.
2 or 3.
And
or just 4.
we're disciplining Trent out of this.
Hey, so they have the 3 pillars.
So should I take the steeple off the top of the building?
That'd actually be hilarious to add. Dude, if we could add that, I would.
People to the top. That'd be
Anyway, yeah. So moving on to our segment. So Matt kind of came up with this idea. I think it's a fun one. We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully a series.
Yeah. Hopefully, or we might do more of these. I like these. So anyway, tear.
Yeah.
Not as in crying tear, but
This is a top 5.
I already see a game on the list that I wish I had put, and I forgot it existed.
dude, I was rethinking it all day.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's something I put. I'm
It's
excited.
not. It's definitely not.
Top
Okay,
5
So I'm the old
first-person
guy.
shooters.
Top 5 first-person shooters. Okay, so I sent you this list. Am I supposed to come up with them again? Hold on.
No, I can name them to you.
Okay.
I have yours in order.
Okay.
Well, not order to your ranking. We'll start with the first one. We'll start with Half-Life Orange Box.
Okay, so I'm kind of cheating on this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Starting out of the gate, cheating a little
It's your
bit.
rules. It's your list.
Okay, so Half-Life 2 is one of the greatest first-person shooters ever, but it didn't come with like a multiplayer. And so in the Orange Box, which is the version I got on PC back in the day, Half-Life 2 came with it, and then it came with Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike was essentially like the online part of it. And so,
See, I didn't even realize that was the case at all.
yeah, so like
That's interesting.
Half-Life 2 didn't have online multiplayer, but they gave you in the orange box, they would give you Counter-Strike because they made that. Valve made that same game. I think it was Valve or Sierra, whatever it was at that time.
Dude, you're gonna have such a good description of these games. I'm gonna be like, oh, that one was, hey, that was kind of fun sometimes, you know.
But
like that one.
anyway,
I like to put the cuddles on that one.
As much as I've talked it up in the orange box, I do like. I actually like Counter-Strike. I do. Y'all know me. I do not like online shooters.
Yeah.
I loved Counter-Strike back in the day when I got that, because it was still fresh and it was like no other game was doing that. So I'm gonna put orange box at an A. I'm gonna put it at an A.
It's 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Okay.
So
Well,
2?
So two?
Two. Sorry, I didn't know it was numbered. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I switched it to numbers.
No, I can't see it from here, so I'm
Yeah.
looking at his laptop.
1 through 5.
Okay.
1 through 5.
Okay. There was also another game in that package that I never played, so I don't know. It might have also came with Portal, which even makes
It
it,
was
better.
Portal. Yeah.
Portal,
Portal
is
is
amazing.
insane,
Also,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I tell you what, on account of Portal, move it up to 1. You got to move it up. Okay. Yep.
Dang.
I
wow.
mean, the fact that that's where Counter-Strike, which I just learned this. I didn't know that, but the
I
fact that
didn't know
that's
that
where
either.
Counter-Strike came from is kind of wild.
And Counter-Strike's like pretty big still.
It's one of the biggest FPSs of all time, if
Dude,
not the
I
biggest.
absolutely loved it. Anyway, what you got next for me?
You know, it's funny. I've never even heard of it.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, it's massive.
007.
So get ready for my tier list.
Okay, so
I'm assuming that's got to be GoldenEye.
It is
GoldenEye on the N64. I do not think it's the best game ever. I do not think that it, like, if you were to play it now, you wouldn't be impressed. Does it hold up? No, but it's going in the number 1 slot simply because it redefined shooters all
Oh,
Wait,
so
what?
so we're doing.
Oh,
I thought you were ranking two.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
2. That's fine. I'll put it
We
right
could
there.
switch it to SAB. I can switch it.
Well,
I thought we were just ranking them.
Oh, I
based
was
upon-
No,
gonna
let's just
put-
do the 1 through 5.
No, I think it makes it more interesting if you have to rank them because
Okay.
a
That's what
I was
lot of
going
these
for.
that you might put in S tier. You know what I mean?
He would
Okay.
probably put all of them in S tier.
Well,
So it makes it hard.
bring it down.
bring it down because I think Perfect Dark was better, and I know I got that later on. So
Bring it down 1.
just one's fine.
There we go. GoldenEye is at number 3. All right, your next
Does
one is
Gold Box stay number 1?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, there's
Yes.
room
Yes.
to work here.
Yeah.
You can move it around a little
Okay,
bit, but
okay.
It's not set in
BioShock.
stone until he says.
BioShock
Is insanely good.
it is
And I totally
so
forgot
good.
it existed.
Man, I still haven't played that. But Elizabeth, my wife, and then her brother talk about how good it is.
Even the newer one, and by new, it's not new anymore, but it was just
Yeah.
more recent. I can't remember what it's called. It
I
was
only
fantastic.
played through the first one, and let me tell you, one of the greatest games. It was definitely one of the greatest games made in the 360 era, the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
That's what it originally came out on. So I'm going to put that one. Man, that's hard, dude.
One of the few horror FPS games.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put that at a 1. I'm going to put that at a 2, I mean. 2. Dude, I'm confused. I thought this was going to be A, B, C, and it's S, whatever. But anyway.
it makes it harder on you, where you actually have to rank them.
Yeah, okay. What else you got?
Crisis.
Crisis.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one too. I never beat it though.
Okay, Crisis is insane as far as the graphics, technology, and everything. It was like you could actually blow up buildings and stuff. One of the first times you could do that in an open type world. You could go against the missions in different ways. It was almost an open world first person shooter. And it was insane. It was called the Computer Killer because it would just kill anything. Like no computers could run it at full settings.
I mean,
at the time.
it was Far Cry before Far Cry, or maybe at the same time,
It was
right?
no. Far Cry came out first.
Okay, that's what it
And
was.
then they got bought out. Somebody bought Far Cry. I think it was Ubisoft.
Yeah, I think it would be.
And then they came out with Crysis instead. Crytek
Yeah.
did. So
That's what
Crytek
it
made
was.
it. Okay, so they've got one of the best engines, gaming engines ever. I'm going to put that at, although I love it and I think it's really good, I am going to put it right at the bottom one. Yeah, there you go. 5.
So then that automatically puts.
Perfect Dark, swap Perfect Dark with 007 just because I think it's ultimately a better game, although I think that 007 defined the genre that every single other one of these games will be under. I do have an honorable mention, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a weird one that nobody's ever heard of. Geist.
Oh no, not. I didn't have that one.
Which one did you have?
You sent me the original one. You sent me was Modern Warfare. The original Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I was going to add Geist. Anyway.
I forgot about that one.
Okay. Anyway,
My
Geist. Well, we'll just pretend. Pretend Geist is up there.
Look, it's right here.
It's right there.
It's
Maybe I
deserving
did.
of an honorable mention. You know,
Okay.
just the naming it, not having a picture.
So this is going to
It's in
sound
line.
really demented and like and everything, but like the game wasn't that demented. It was kind of like it was a make believe game. It wasn't like set in the real world in a sense at all. It was, but anyway, the whole concept of Geist was think about this. Okay, it was for the GameCube. It wasn't that popular because the gameplay wasn't the best ever as far as the tightness of controls and all that. But here was the concept: is that there was an experiment going on at like this military base, and you got separated from your body, so it's like your spirit's floating around. You could only be outside your body for so much time before you don't exist anymore. So you had to possess things. And so, like,
Is that how it is in real life?
yeah, that's exactly how it is. So anyway, so the only way that you could possess a person, and that's how you actually did the gunfighting, was you had to scare them. So first you had to scare them. So you would have to possess, like, let's say a guy was in the bathroom, like, you would have to possess the mirror, scare the mess out of them, and then you could possess, like, you could put something in the mirror that made him really scared.
That's
You
cool.
could possess him, and then you would have his gun.
Oh, Geist, like Poltergeist.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
once
That's cool.
once he got shot and
Nice.
killed, that guy that you were possessing, everybody turns on him because, I mean, if you didn't shoot anybody, everybody thought he was fine.
Dude, that's cool. What era console did this come out
That
on?
was- came out on GameCube. So once they killed him, you had so many seconds to get into another person.
Wow.
And if they were already scared from the shooting, you could possess. So the way that you got different guns and stuff is you possess different people. If you wanted a shotgun, you possess the guy with a shotgun.
Dude, that's cool.
That is kind of wild.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
I think I
concept.
have heard of it, but I've never played.
That's a really creative idea.
Me
Anyway.
either. All right, Trin.
What up?
Halo Reach.
Man, that was the first Halo that I played ones before that, but that was the first one I played and just loved. I mean, it was awesome. It was so cool. The campaign was awesome. You had like I always for me, it was like the SEAL Team 6 of Spartans. I mean, like it was so
There's
cool.
a lot of people that like one of the best.
I had this because I had the special edition for it. I had the statue in my room that
I
was like
remember.
all the guys, and the dude has like the knife on his shoulder. It was awesome, really, really good. I'm gonna put it at a. Oh man, I know what I've got coming up, so I'm gonna put it at a 4.
Are these all lined up with each? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Quick story about the little statue that he got. So we went into GameStop.
Did
to
you catch
buy
him
this.
bound down to it?
I did.
Yeah, it was. It was
That's why I
idolatry.
got destroyed. But dude, we went into GameStop and we went to buy this game, and the person at GameStop said, "You know, I've got the special edition set, like the legendary set, back here, and I can sell it to you for the same price. It's marked down to the same price." It was like I think we paid like $40 for it, and it came with the statue, the huge case, all this extra stuff, dude. It was insane.
Yeah.
And I left it with a 13-year-old that I thought he was
Younger,
gonna.
maybe than that even.
I thought he was gonna take care of this statue that was probably worth a lot of money. And
So here's the deal. So my hobby now is guns. That started early, and I thought the guns on the Spartans were really cool as a young kid, and so I took the guns off
yeah,
to
And
play with
took
them.
them to school.
Yeah, no, just to play with them.
Took
And,
real guns to school.
That's where that happened. But yeah, no, I'm pretty firm on that being 4. I mean, it was really good, but Halo in general is not even close to my favorite shooters. They're just They're good. That's more nostalgia. I might even move that down to 5 at some point. I can't remember exactly what I had on there.
Modern Warfare 2019.
Okay, Modern
next?
Warfare 2019. You're going to start to see like what I like in shooters. Whoever did the animations for the guns did phenomenal. Whoever did the sound design did phenomenal. It was the first game that I was like, dude, this feels real. Like, not in the movement, but in terms of guns and attachments, you could do anything.
Yeah,
if I
it was
wanted
really
to take a Desert Eagle and put a sniper scope on it, I could do it. And it was, for that alone, for a gun nut, that was like the best thing ever. I'm going to put that at like probably 2. I mean, it was so much fun.
All right. Modern Warfare 2. The OG Modern Warfare 2.
OG. Man, that was a blast. You got to put that at 3.
Trent, you're awful to your father. What did you do to that Halo Reach
Just
special edition stuff you
the
got?
legendary limited edition that you had. I just looked it up.
$400.
It's $400.
You know,
Anyway.
yeah, that's just kind of how it goes when you give stuff to kids.
All right.
What else?
Ready
You
or
have
not?
brought dishonor on your family.
Dude, Ready or Not is one of the most fun times I've had playing a shooter with it. I mean, you want to talk about the realism that I thought was cool in Modern Warfare 2019, amped that up like to the 10th degree. I mean, it is so much more realistic. It is super intense. 1. I mean, it's
Oh, wow.
awesome. I love that game.
A little bias. Current bias.
It is current bias, but when you get to build a SWAT team, especially if you get friends to play with you and literally like it's all your friends are a SWAT team and you're raiding like a meth house, it's just a blast. So
And the video game's cool, too.
the game is also cool.
All right. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Okay. Yeah, that one's at 5.
It's pretty good.
It's kind of bad. I like that Call of Duty almost the most because I was good at it. That was actually the Call of Duty I was the best at. Like I would go. I've never gotten kills like that in a Call of Duty since that game. So I know a lot of people hate on the jumpy jetpack Call of Duties, but I loved it. I was good at it.
Yep. I never
I
played
did
it.
play some of that. I remember it was free. I don't know if it was on Game
I
Pass
think it
at
was
one
free
point.
at one point, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, well, I'm going to go next, starting off with Black Ops 3. So this one might seem like a strange one to some, but it was
The third one?
yeah, it's my
It's
favorite.
pretty
of-
popular.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
actually, I think it's one of the most popular Call of Duties of all time.
Super quick. My honorable mention would have been actually Infinite Warfare 5 would have been Black Ops 2. I just forgot to send that to you. But
Yeah.
anyways,
So I didn't have an Xbox for a while as a teenager, and
For good
When,
reason. You might have come to school with a gun.
yeah, when I got an Xbox back when I
he was homeschooled. He just would have went home.
I know, even worse, right?
I would have had one in my room, but I did have a gun in my room actually. But
Matt, why'd you bring your gun to?
the dinner table?
Yeah.
But no. So when I bought an Xbox, I had one up until I was like 14 or so, and then I didn't have one for a while. We didn't have like I lived out in the middle of nowhere and stuff, so it's kind of pointless to have it.
Yeah.
And then I got one back, and the first game I bought was Black Ops 3, and that's all I played.
Well,
for,
it's not pointless because a lot of these games aren't like online that they put so far.
Yeah, and I had such a good time playing Black Ops 3. Like, I have really good memories of playing it. The movement in it was so fun. It was just a fun game. Like, they really went above and beyond to make it fun. Like, I remember you could run around with boxing gloves and punch people and stuff, and it would make like the knockout ding ding ding. You know, like when you'd hit them and you have chainsaws and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool stuff. But I'm gonna put that at probably I'm gonna go 4. That one.
I'm gonna put that one at probably number 4.
Modern Warfare 2019. So didn't like the game very much when it first came out.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it felt a little clunky. There were some problems with it. But as it went on, probably the most played video game I've ever played. Oh, not even close, actually. there's no way it's even close. I don't want to talk about how many days I have in this game.
That 2v2 when it first
Hey,
dropped was ridiculous.
What year was this?
2020.
Okay.
Well, Warzone dropped in 2020, and just the memories alone, like this is pure. My list is pure nostalgia of the like memories of playing. Me and my brother and my brother-in-law playing Warzone, and like, I mean, 3 or 4 nights a week, sometimes stuff like that. Like just playing all like hopping on every day to play, grinding, search and destroy and stuff like this. It might go. I think it's gonna go number 1 for me.
When did
honestly.
Blackout come out? The predecessor to Warzone.
That was Black Ops 4,
what year though? Do you know off the top of your head?
probably 2017.
That's what I was thinking. That was a lot of fun when it
So,
first came
so
out.
I had that was almost on my list, but Warzone just topped it.
I know
by
it
quite a
is
bit.
better. It is
Yeah.
better.
Is Blackout I enjoyed a lot, and that's kind of what sparked a lot of. That's when I first started playing with my brother. Was we would play online playing Blackout. But all right, next is Halo 3.
Yeah, it's good.
I played that one. I played all the original Halos all the way through the first 3 from beginning to end.
Did you play them
Yeah.
co-op with a friend though?
Yeah.
That was fun. Back
So
in
me
the
and my
day.
brothers used to play the first 3 Halos co-op all the time. I never played it online actually. So we didn't have internet. I never played the like online multiplayer where we would play against one another.
Yeah.
So but it just is like I said, pure nostalgia. I love that game. I went back to it later on. Me and my brother actually tried playing it some like a few years ago and stuff. But it's just a great game. One of my favorite games of all time. Halo in general, the 1, 2, and 3 are some of my favorite of all time. Talk about some of the best music ever. I'm gonna put that at
It is great music. You are right.
I think 3. Call of Duty World at War.
that was a good one as well.
Yeah.
You have pretty solid
There's-
choices.
Look at my choices and look at all these Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's hard because Call of Duty has always been like one of my Halo and
Yeah.
Call of Duty have always
for
been some of my
sure.
favorite.
For sure.
And I had to go with so I'm thinking top 5, and now like it can't be like some one off. Like I've played some of these others. Like I played Halo Reach and stuff, but I barely played it. So I'm
Right.
like the memories and the nostalgia with it. World at War, I played that campaign probably 20 times or more.
It was an incredible campaign.
And Nazi zombies, like
Was that the first one with Nazi
Yeah.
zombies?
Yeah, Kinder
you
Toten
would
or what it
end
was
the
called.
campaign, and then it was like you would wake up and the zombies are running at you.
Yeah.
And it would instantly start the Nazi zombies.
I mean,
And-
they basically were.
Dude.
I'm just kidding.
Which we had a funny story about that is I had to beat the campaign quite a few times. One of the main reasons I had to play it through is because you had to beat the campaign to unlock Nazi zombies. So if the game got erased, you start over. And my younger sister, when we were not in the room, would go in there and she thought she would want to play it. And somehow she would erase the, like, that was when you used to have to hook up like the hard drive and stuff. And she would like erase the game. So we'd have to rebeat the campaign in order to play Nazi zombies again. It's annoying, but I'm gonna put that at number 5, and then Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 was the old
I had that one.
OG Modern Warfare 3 was the first game I played online multiplayer with.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And-
special.
I was an addict. I was a fiend.
Dude, yeah.
Dude,
Hey,
online's so.
and let's talk about-
online's different.
That campaign,
immediately
that
going
opening
to.
scene to that campaign when you're in the city, I don't even know what city that's in.
Yeah.
And it gets attacked, and it's like, I think at one point you get on a submarine and like raid it.
Yeah.
There's like buildings falling down, jets flying. Like, it is a sick opening to a campaign.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
It's almost as good as 4-player split screen on 007 and 64.
It's definitely better than that. But
I used to play, but we used to play split screen on this all the time, and we would play. That's the first game I started playing online with my friends, and then one of the first time, dude, I was so addicted to this game. Like when I started playing online, I remember being at my grandma's house, and literally I stayed up all night long, like just me, just playing
Oh, I
online,
definitely have done
just
that.
camo grinding and stuff. Like I was such a.
it makes me
little
want to go
addict,
back and
little
play all the
fiend.
campaigns of like those games. They are really good.
Yeah. Oh, the original Modern Warfare. So I went back actually when they made them backwards compatible. I bought the 1, 2, and 3, Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, and went back and played some of the like Spec Ops and stuff. Me and my brother went through a
Yeah.
bunch of them. There, dude, it was so fun. They're so good.
No, I mean some of these. I think a lot of these games still hold up.
Oh yeah. All right, Sam.
All right. Well, I'll be quick. I'm probably the person with the
Star Wars Battlefront.
yeah. I've played the least amount of games in general. So I'll speak to the layman here. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak to the person, the layman of video
The
games.
layman.
Okay. I played a lot of online games, but growing up, I also played a lot of campaigns and stuff like that. So it's kind of half and half in terms of online and like the campaign games I played. In
Yeah.
terms of FPS, the 5 I put up here are pretty much the only ones I've played. I don't even remember what they were though. Do you remember?
Star Wars
Matt?
Battlefront 2.
Okay, we'll start with that. That one is hard.
Great game.
It's
Tell
such a good
me the OG one. I remember playing this one on PSP. You know, just grinding out and just
15 frames per
yeah,
second.
Yeah, dude, it was still fun.
Yeah,
okay,
so
it
much
was
fun.
sick. I love PSP.
Oh yeah.
Also on PlayStation 2, and also I think it's FPS, but it's also third person. So I think you could switch between it. I think which
so.
mainly I did third person. Let's be honest, but we're gonna put it in here anyway because I don't have any other options.
We'll shoehorn it in.
Yeah, shoehorn it in. So I can know what are the other ones I put in. Can you list them off?
Halo 4, Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, and Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, I'm gonna
Titanfall.
put.
That's a good one.
That is a
Yeah,
good
I'm gonna put Battlefront 2 at number 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because I'm really a Star Wars geek too, so that fulfilled me. But also, it's just a really fun game. I love Capture the Flag and that.
Yeah.
I think Titanfall 2. If you want to do that one, I'll put that at 3.
Great
So
game.
I played that one before I played Apex Legends. They're both by Respawn, the studio Respawn. So
I
the
thought
game,
you were a layman, man.
the game mechanics in it are very similar, and so that's what got me onto Apex Legends. Actually, was Titanfall because dude, I love how fast it is. Like
Yeah,
it's super
so
fast. Like it's super fast and so much possibility with what you can do. It just felt like, I don't know, it felt free in a sense where a lot of games are constricting.
It's so
Yeah,
funny because
well-
one of your top FPS games is one of my. I hate Apex Legend with such a burning passion.
But
That's crazy to me, though,
Titanfall 2, though. I mean, there's something about jumping into a mech and then launching out of it.
No, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean,
It
it's
was cool.
awesome.
So that one of the movement is a huge thing for me. Like
Yeah, me too.
recently, I
Me
love
too. I like to be able to
I
move.
love being able to move fast and feel free and not feel like I'm stuck in the mud. And Titanfall did that, but Apex Legends did that for me even more. And that's why I'm actually going to put Apex, which you won't believe this, but I'm going to put it at number 1 for me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, that's
And
controversial.
Yeah, I know it is.
I actually, so I understand it. I never played Apex that much, but the time I did play it, like I got pretty addicted.
I bet you got freaking beat hard too because it is
Yeah.
sweaty.
It's
like
so sweaty.
no, I'm serious. It's insane. I put so many hours in, more than any other game I played this game.
Yeah.
And it's insane because you can have such a vast skill gap between other online players.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because of the fact
all the
that
time.
there's so much versatility in the movement and what you can do that you can go far and beyond any other players. So it's super hard. And I get why people hate it, but I think they just,
But
they're
when
losers.
when you won, when you won an Apex, I will say the first time I won an Apex was
Yeah.
like,
Dude, it's like,
I was
I-
like
I've-
shaking.
you won the
honest-
lottery.
My hands were
Yeah,
shaking.
dude,
I
you
was
won
like,
the lottery.
I was like, oh my goodness! Like I was so nervous. And stuff.
I've honestly never played it.
And this
Oh,
is well,
it
this
was
is
fun.
I
it's
know
a battle
it.
royale.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So it's I really enjoy it. I think downsides of it, people don't like different skills with the characters. There's problems with them trying to keep the characters at sort of an even level.
The
You know what I mean?
balancing.
Yeah, balancing it. You're going to get that if you have different abilities. But I mean, it was fun.
That's
It's
difficult.
super
still,
fun.
It's still going too. Like still one of the most
Yeah.
popular games.
Yeah,
It is.
It's and it's really hard, but it's super fun.
It is.
What else did I have? I'm gonna put Modern Warfare 2. I had that as
Yeah,
well.
I'll move it from trends list. I forgot to put two of them.
Thanks.
Okay, well it's going at 4. That's so nostalgic for me, and I mean, if it wasn't for the ones ahead of it, I don't know. Actually, I'd put Titanfall. I think I'll put Titanfall where that is. Yeah, I'll put Titanfall at
It's
4.
It's making the.
Okay, that's fine.
It's fine.
That's
I'll
fine.
do this.
It's where Trent had it. Let's get. I agree with Trent. There you go.
There we go. I forgot to put 2 Modern Warfares.
Okay, so Modern Warfare 2. I think that was one of the. No, I played Modern Warfare the first one, but I don't even remember, dude. I just remember
That's the
playing
only
it.
one I've played from
And
beginning to end.
the thing I played most was split screen. I never played
Oh, yeah,
online.
yeah.
I never even played online on this. Like I didn't play online until I think probably Apex Legends too.
Yeah.
But no, the what I remember is having my best friends over and then we'd play split screen Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
And then that was so much fun.
I
dude.
think Modern Warfare 2 was when Spec Ops was first initiated into it, and Modern Warfare 2 I have a crazy, like when it first came out, my dad took me and we rented it from
Yeah.
Hastings.
Hastings.
And me and my best friend played it over the weekend. I remember he stayed over and dude, I think we beat the campaign and beat all the Spec Ops over like a day and
Was
a
the
half.
Spec Ops
Yeah.
the survival mode?
It was like where you would like
You
have like
face waves of it.
rounds
Dude,
and waves
that was
and stuff.
so much fun.
Yeah, you had the missions where you had to like sneak through like
Yes,
undetected
yes, okay.
and all that stuff. It
Yeah.
was dude, it
That's
was
some of the most
so much
fun I've ever had
And you
playing
could
a
play
video
it
game.
co-op too.
The
Yeah.
only
Exactly,
the
yeah.
only Call
Great.
of Duty game I've ever beaten from beginning to end, I think, I can say positively was the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah, which was
And I played a
awesome.
split screen with a friend. But I remember the first time I had to figure out how to shoot that guy and snipe him in the wind. You had to count for the
Oh,
wind.
dude.
He was standing in
Oh,
front of the
dude.
limousine, and you had to watch the flag.
Yeah, and you
Dude,
had
it
to
took me forever to figure that
that
out.
was so cool. though.
Anyway, yeah.
Then when he
Moving on.
you realize he didn't die, he just blew his arm off.
But yeah, I guess my last one is already determined here.
Halo 4.
Halo 4. Okay, the reason I even brought this up because I hardly remember this game either. But yeah, I remember in high school having my friend come over and then we play the it had a like dual co-op thing.
Yeah.
Like a co-op
The
camp.
campaign, yeah. The
Co-op
You
campaign.
can always co-op them.
That was super fun, dude.
It is.
I had so much fun doing that. The warthogs, all that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
That was sick. Love that. Again, I'm going back to fast stuff. It's like I really like when games are fast.
Well, the one thing that Halo did that redid a lot, it was a defining look. Halo aren't my favorite games. They're just not. I think they get way too much credit for different things. But one thing that they should get credit for is it reinvented how the battle goes and how you can do it. Like, because you could jump into vehicles and stuff like that, and someone could get on the gun and someone could drive it. That was the first game that really established that.
Yeah.
That's why it was called Combat Evolved.
There were
the
several
first one was
things,
called Combat
yeah.
Evolved because of that.
Yeah, there was several things they invented too, like that kind of stuck around for a long time. Was like, I learned this the other day. I was just watching some YouTube videos of like the best FPSs of all time,
Yeah.
and like I didn't realize like Halo, it was like map voting, like a bunch of different gameplays
Just
and
little
how
weird
the
things, yeah.
online, like they were some of the first really big like online
Oh, this is
multiplayer battle games, stuff like so. It was pretty
it
cool.
reinvented.
This is
going to
sound really stupid, but for some reason, the fact that in Halo you cannot aim down sights drives me absolutely nuts. And
Well, if you have sights on it, you can.
I mean, yeah, if you have a scope, like a sniper or something like that, but there's no.
I don't know. I didn't
Any-
care back in the day.
I do now,
But-
but I'm just saying, yeah, back in the day, I didn't care.
Anyway, well, there's our list.
I have one honorable
Oh,
mention.
you got one honorable mention.
honorable mention that
Go
I forgot
for
to
it.
mention. All of the Medal of Honor games from
Okay.
the PlayStation 2 Medal of Honor. There was like Vanguard, Frontlines, Rising Sun, some things like that. I was
The-
looking them up.
the first one I ever played of Medal of Honor was the first one that came out for the it was the PlayStation 2 era, but I got it on GameCube.
Yeah.
And it was the first game that had you storming the beaches of Normandy accurately, in a sense.
I think that was like Front Lines, I think, as well.
I think it was the first one for that generation. And, dude, it blew me away. Like
so cool.
No pun intended. It blew me away. But anyway, it was really good. So, yeah, I could see that. But anyway. Yeah, so, hey, let us know in your comments if y'all ever want to comment what y'all think about our choices there and anything else in the episode. Hey, share, like, whatever.
Subscribe, ring that bell.
Ring that bell.
Leave a comment.
All those good things.
Share it.
Also, you can find us on Rumble. Haven't we been posting on Rumble?
Yeah, this one will be up on Rumble.
Okay. Yep. So there you go. YouTube, Rumble, and on Spotify. So there you go.
And Apple Podcasts.
And Apple Podcasts if you just want the audio. So,
And
yep.
X.
Do we?
Yeah, I'll post it on Facebook.
Yeah. All
You
right.
can find us on the
We'll
Facebook.
post a link on X.
Yeah. Anyway.
I can post full episode.
Yep. Join us next week. Later.